I'm here with the boys from More Subita to talk about their latest record, Origin of Fire, out right now on Out of Line Music and all the places where you can stream, buy, download, purchase, all that good shit. It's been ages since I've seen both of your faces. It's been ages since Mika's been on the channel. How you guys been doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Busy as always, but overall good. Yeah, glad to finally release new music so we can chat with you.
Yeah, I was waiting
Yeah,
for you
indeed.
guys to release some music. I thought you guys were taking a page out of the Winter Sun book and waiting for like, I don't know, 10 years before you release 2 seconds of a guitar lick.
Yeah,
But
man, we have saunas to build, you know.
hey, real problems that we all are facing here, you know what I mean? So but it turns out you guys are not like Winter Sun and you actually put some music out. The record is out there. So let me start off by asking you this. Now that the record is out, what's the feedback been like? What do you guys are hearing from fans and other people who've had a chance to listen to this record?
Well, so far the feedback has been quite positive, surprisingly positive, I'd say, because there's been like everybody's been like, this album is great. What the hell are you guys doing? This is cool. Like, I don't know, I just can't understand, but people seem to be liking it quite a lot, which is great.
Yeah, pretty much all positive feedback thus far. Uh, yeah, no, nothing too negative at least. But yeah, maybe people are afraid to tell what they actually think.
I-
But
I'm
yeah,
I'm I'm shocked that you guys are shocked that the feedback is positive. It's like you guys released an album and it's like you're expecting everybody to hate it.
well, it's
Well,
easier
they
that way.
say,
No?
yeah, they say that if you don't expect anything, you won't get disappointed. So,
That is true. I'm finding that this is a very Finnish way of thinking. It's like we're gonna release an album, everybody's gonna hate it, and then when people don't hate it, it's like, well, you know what? Turns out they don't hate it. Whatever. We're just happy to be here. When you guys, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to sit and think about the band, the journey, 5 records, 20 years. It's a long time. It's a lot of albums. How do you look back at the band where they were and where you guys are now when it comes to your musical journey through these records?
Emily, can you start?
yes, at least for
A
me,
hard
it's like,
question.
yeah, I've been in the band for like what, 10 years now, I think, almost at least. Well, yeah, so far the journey has been quite nice. We've been growing like as individuals and as a band, and we're actually like really like, how would you say it? We're really honed together now, so we're just, it's like a blade that you sharpen throughout the years, and now we're actually quite sharp at this point, I'd say. Yeah, it's been like a really nice journey so far with the guys.
Yeah, we were really young when we started this band, and I think the main goal at that point, before the first album, was just to release an actual album and hold it on your own hands, and it's your music and it's full length album like that. That was pretty much the main goal at that point. But we've just been keeping on doing the same thing for many years now, and I don't know, it still feels good, and it's getting better all the time. I think, like Emily said, that we've honed our music and the band, and everything is sort of slowly, the Lego pieces are finding their own places, and it's smoothening out. And yeah, we're happy the band is still good and going strong.
And that's an interesting point because a lot of bands don't last this long. A lot of bands don't put out these many records these days. Is there an album or a time period for you guys that you look back and you say that this was the turning point that allowed us to continue to make music, that allowed us to continue to be a band, that allowed us to continue to push forward instead of saying, you know what, this is going to be our last record and we're just going to do whatever it is that we want to do?
I think there's always that sort of feeling when you have finished the album that you feel like this is going to be the last one. I'm never making any more albums, you know. It's that sort of a struggle every time. But I think the first couple albums were, especially the first, like our debut album, was such a huge mountain to climb, and there was a lot of technical difficulties and whatnot. And obviously, Hape left, our first singer left the band after the debut album, and we had to, you know, find a replacement for Hape. And fortunately, we found Eemeli, but you know, at that time we were still sort of in the dark. We didn't know what to expect from anything. So I would say the sophomore, if you call it that, the second album was also a huge mountain to climb because there were so many questions in the air how things will, you know, turn out, because we had a new singer, we actually had a new drummer also, so there was a lot of question marks. So I think the first two albums were the biggest mountains to climb.
And for you, like coming in, second record, pressure is on. You're not a musician. You're a mountain climber at this point. So how was it for you?
For me, I don't know. It was kind of a big deal for me back then because I used to listen to the band before when the guys released the first album, and I really liked it. And I actually went to a couple of their shows before, and then when the vocal application thing came up, I was just like, yeah, let's do it. And it was a really big deal for me. But I don't know, I just immediately felt like a part of the band. I mean, after we did the first show back in 2013, after that, it was just like I had always been in the band. It felt like that because the guys were really welcoming, and it was, I don't know, a really smooth step in. Of course, I at that point it was really tough for me to sing the old songs because I really liked the way Hape did those before, and I don't know. I always want to stay loyal to the original stuff, but it just started to work out quite well.
You
Super
said
nice.
that the blade has been sharpened, and when it comes to that sharpened blade and the way you guys approach a record, is it a lot easier these days working together, thinking of the vision that you want for the album, for the songs, and then put that vision into actual music that ends up on the final album? Has that process become a lot easier?
I think so, yeah, because we have more like different ideas now, and I think the biggest thing that I like in this band is that people actually, if you do an idea and it's not quite as good as it should be, somebody will tell you, hey, this is shit, drop it. And it comes straight. It's like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Come on, dude, let's do something different. And that's the number one thing I like in this whole thing.
Yeah, there's definitely honesty, even though it's sometimes, you know, quiet honesty. If you're just asking if this track is good enough for the album, and there's like we've talked about this in the earlier discussions also, but if there's total silence, you know, it's not gonna work out. But yeah, um, there's honesty when it comes to writing songs, but yeah, I don't think there's any, at least we haven't discussed about our vision. I don't per se. I don't think there's more like parts of that vision. We might talk about the production. We might talk about maybe the musical direction, but as a like the big picture of and a vision of this band, I don't know if we ever actually had that conversation. Like we have some friends asking us, so what do you expect from the band? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? We're like, we just want to make music, you know. That's the main idea. Has been all the time, you know. Music comes first always, and everything comes after that. But yeah, I don't know. The vision comes together when we start playing together and just doing it, and it's sort of a natural process from my standpoint, at least.
Now, from a vocal standpoint, I want to ask you this: looking at each record and looking at your performance on each record, where does this album rank for you? Was this a more difficult album? Do you see more growth on this album? Was this an easier album? Where does this album stand?
I'd say this is so far the best one because well, there's a lot of factors that come into it, but the main point was maybe that we had there was a lot of time to prepare the songs, which was great, and I got a lot of space to do the vocals on my own. I had like many runs of the songs, each one of them, and then Mika was doing great, like the best lyrics and compositions so far that he has done with the songs as well. There's like, how many songs are there that you did? 3, 4? Well, anyways, yeah, quite a few.
You mean the
lyrics and
lyrics?
yeah,
Couple at least.
I think so. Yeah,
2?
a couple at least. Yeah, and those are yeah. Mika basically sent the first ideas, and that was like, this is it. Let's do that. Like for example, the killing trend.
I was even hesitant actually for Killing Trend. I was like, Emily,
Yeah.
you can do better than this, you know. This is okay, this will be the backup vocals and the lyrics. And you'll do you, and this will be the backup. We'll use this if nothing else works. But it ended up on the album, so that's what you get when you have this democratic process. And but yeah, I try to stay away from cutting into the lyrical process or the vocal arrangements. But yeah, sometimes I have to help, or if some inspiration comes up, then I might suggest something to Emily. But usually I try to stay away from that process because yeah.
So are you staying away from it so that they can stay away from your guitar playing?
It might be. Yeah, I guess
it's like
some
I don't
you're
tell
right
you
here.
how to sing. You don't tell me how to play.
Yeah, that's why I'm here in the cave.
Yeah, but I just have to get back to the ideas you said. They usually inspire me to do other things as well, so it's always a good thing. And well, if we go back to the vocal things, I mean, they are. I have to say something about the process because this was the first time we did like all the recordings individually and alone at a location X somewhere in the woods. I don't know, but I was doing the vocals by myself, and it gave me a really lot like time to try out new things because well, you can't if we're doing vocal recordings with Mika, we have the demos ready and that stuff, but I don't want to put him through the pain of listening me doing freaky noises for 8 hours straight in a 4x4 box because that's not human at all. So that was a positive thing for sure. And of course, my voice is still evolving a lot. Like back on the second album, I was probably sounding a bit, well, like even my talking voice was a lot higher back then. So it is changing all the time. So that's really good. And I had a lot of other points too, but now I forgot all of them. So
well, I can tell you from listening to this record, your vocals on this record feel that they aged well. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the difference between drinking a 2-year-old whiskey versus a 20-year-old whiskey. Like, there's a difference in the texture. There's a difference in the flavor. There's a difference in the aroma. And on this album, vocally, I just felt like you were more of a vocalist and not just somebody who's grabbing a mic and screaming at it. And I'm not saying you were doing that before, but it just shows more of a polished outlook in terms of how the vocals interact with the songs and how they interact with the sound.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, definitely, like huge. Like it just feels. I hate using the word mature, but it just feels more mature. Now, Mika, I want to ask you about your guitar sound, because I don't care what I'm listening to. If you're playing guitars on the track, I can tell it's you from the moment I hear the first note. There's a very distinct DNA that comes with your guitar sound, and that DNA, it's obviously on this record. It's on every single thing that you've ever worked on. Do you know what that DNA is? Because I know what it sounds like, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue. It's just many years of pain in here in the cave and in my earlier caves. So I don't know. I'm really flattered for you to say that. That's sort of yeah. It's great to hear that you feel that way. I don't really know where it comes. I just I guess it's from the stretched C cassettes and CDs, and where I learned my first riffs from, Pantera and White Zombie and whatnot. And it's more like I learned guitar by ear mostly. So and back then, when I started playing guitar, there wasn't YouTube or any other platforms to have your lessons from, and so you just sort of had to use your ear and your guts and your feel to sort of find the notes that you like and the stuff that you like. And I think it's been a slow process, I guess. Even honing my own guitar playing style and riffing style. And I always feel like when I do well, certain things I do like when I make them and also afterwards, but sometimes I feel like maybe I could done something a little bit better, or I'm just that sort of a nitpick nerd when it comes to playing, because I'm not the most technical guitar player. I can shred a little, but nowadays I'm a lot more into making a good riff rather than just shredding all the time. So for me, it's more important to write a good riff than being able to play lightning fast. And as I grow older, I sort of learn to appreciate more of that melody. Even though I like the Slayer, the Hanneman and Kerry soloing style that flutters and the odd noises, but I don't know. It's a melting pot, my style, I guess. Melting pot of all sorts of metal and fusion jazz, and I don't know. That's but the funny thing still is that even though my style is a melting pot, I still want to just play metal music. I don't know. There's something wrong in my DNA in that way.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. You're one of my favorite guitar players, if not my favorite guitar player. I love the sound that you create. I love your specific DNA. Like I said, if I was starting a band today, you'd be the first person that I would call, or either you or somebody that can play at least a little bit that sounds like you, because it's such an incredible, exquisite guitar sound that, like I said, there's nobody out there that even comes close. It doesn't. Like it's very unique.
Okay,
I
thank you
can
very
do a
much.
contest where we play 5 seconds of a song that you've been on, and I can tell it's you immediately. Like nobody comes close. It's very unique, and I think you're undervalue yourself a lot, because it's not easy to, in a world of so many guitar players and so many musicians, to be able to create something that it's deeply connected with you, that you could tell who the person is that is doing that. It's not something that's easy to achieve.
Thanks a lot, Pedro. It means a lot to me. Thanks.
So moving on from the praises to the bad things that this album brought to us. I'm just kidding. There's like a
Yes.
but I don't want to talk about that, but I want to talk about the bad side of making a record, because not everything is good, not everything is happy, not everything is positive. What do you guys least like about an album cycle? Either the recording process, the demoing process, or even the delivering process of the stress of putting an album out there and singles and sales and Spotify's and all of that shit.
I think the
Well,
creative process is the best, and the worst part is the business side of it.
yeah, I would say the same. It's fun when you do the songs. It's kind of fun when you record them. It's not that fun to do the marketing, but it's fun again when you get to play the shows. But yeah, I would have to say that all the business stuff, it doesn't suit us too well. We just like doing music, basically. I think all of us. I think there's nobody in our group who's actually like a business wizard or something like that.
You can tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are still making thrash metal, that's the obvious reason, nobody's a business person if you try to make money with thrash metal.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, you guys are purely artists. You're not like, what, this is what's selling right now, so let's do some symphonic shit with a female lead singer and something like that. You guys are truthful to your art, and I totally appreciate that. And I know we've talked about the lyrics, but I honestly want to ask you guys this, because the lyrics of More Subita have always been as aggressive, as intense as the music, as the sound. Now, when you get some help from Mika on the lyrics, how does this dynamic work? Do you personally normally write lyrics and have things written aside, and then you try and incorporate it into the songs? Or you're more on the spur of the moment, where the song takes you, you go, and then Mika kind of helps out whenever he can?
Usually goes like I have some ideas ready, or maybe some like maybe a one line or something like that. But when I hear the song, it usually brings something like, well, let's say there's a good melody that brings me maybe a memory of some event, or maybe it kind of sticks in my head for a while, and then I see something like on the side of the road that could actually fit into that theme. Because I usually write everything in like there's just one session per one song usually. Like I just sit down, open up my laptop, and start writing and listening to the song. It is a straightforward process. So but yeah, there's nothing too special in it. I think it's just all about how it feels, how the song feels, how the lyrics feel, basically, and that's it.
Mika's nodding.
Yeah.
He's agreeing with you. When you mentioned that you go through ebbs and flows, the things that you like, the things that you don't like. When it comes to the live shows, is there a song that fans go crazy, that regardless of how many records you release from today until the end of time, that song has to be on the set list? Do you guys have a track like that?
I think it's As Humanity Weeps.
Yeah, I think so too.
One of the band's favorite also. I feel like it is. Everybody likes to play it, and yeah, it's a fun live song also, with a lot of energy.
You mentioned that you guys don't have a vision for the band, or in terms of what the future of the band will be, but do you have a vision for what 2024 is going to bring you? Are you guys planning on doing some shows, some touring? What's in the works?
Yeah, we got some shows booked already for next year, and we're actually having a meeting with our agent, sales agent, Aki, soon. Yeah, booking agent, that's it. We're having a meeting with him soon, and we're going to discuss more in depth about next year. And I think Mika has a lot of new songs ready already, I think.
Pretty much. And next album album has been written already, so
Uh-huh.
that will be in the works next year.
So there's no time to build the sauna. If you already have another album, I thought there would be at least a little bit of time for the sauna to be built, but no.
Hopefully,
We already-
my neighbor has a sauna which can be moved. It's on a trailer, so we can rent that in the meantime.
Listen, I'm thinking of investing in one. There's a Finnish company in Toronto that does, like outdoor portable saunas. So I'm actually thinking of investing in one for my backyard.
Yes,
So
good.
Totally.
maybe we could get them as a sponsor or something like that. I have one last question for you guys, and it's not really related to the band, but it's related to you, Mika, or at least I hope it is. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot here, but I heard that Heavy Trip 2 is in the works or it's coming out. Were you involved this time around?
Yeah, I guess the news is out because I saw some interview about Heavy Trip, and yes, I am involved, and Eemeli soon is also.
Oh, she.
Oh,
He's bringing all his buddies in. He's bringing all of his buddies in. I love it.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Well,
Hopefully
I'm
good
looking
things.
forward to it. I love the first one. Huge fan of the first one. I have the DVD. Actually, I have two DVDs. I have the Finnish one, and then I have one that I can actually watch in North America. So I have two versions of the movie. Looking forward to it. I was just interested to hear if you were somehow involved, because I know you were a part of the first one. So
Yeah, I guess there was an interview in Metal Injection or somewhere where they did the cat was out of the bag that I'm working on the songs again, but yeah, that's the demos are ready, and the film and the movie is being edited at the moment, and we just need to add Eemeli's vocals and mix the songs, and we're ready to go.
well, let me know if you need some cowbell. I'm always available and I can
Yes.
also do some triangle. I've expanded my horizons, so I can do cowbell and triangle. So if you guys need some of that, let me know. I'm more than happy to assist.
All right, we'll do that.
I come at the right price, which is free.
All right.
But the question is, do you do blast beats?
On the cowbell and the in the triangle, I haven't mastered the blast beats on those two yet. I'm a little bit more of a jazz drummer, if you will, on those. I'm more about the melodies and stuff like that, but I haven't really gone into the blast beats. Maybe I'll do that over the holidays.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Didn't Ville have like a pedal one with which you can step on, like a cowbell, right? Just use two of those. You have a...
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Uh,
Maybe I need to get one of those for the triangles as well, or get multiple. All right,
Good
guys.
idea.
Mika, Eemeli, thank you very much for your time today, man. You guys are always a blast to talk to. Thank you very much for your time. All the best with the band, with the record, with everything that you guys do. Nothing but love for both of you and the rest of the band. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Pedro. It was